Currently, a band of warm air is moving in, and while it might seem less than ideal on paper, it's November, and the best place to be is in the woods. After a stretch of hunting with Mike, November 6th finds Rye Ludwig returning to his permission farm for the first time since mid-October.
Well, here it is. It is going on 2:30 now, and Ty and I are actually gonna make it to a blind or tree stand. Not 100% sure what we're gonna do yet. I really want to run the decoy tonight down here on this fresh cut cornfield. It's been cut 2 or 3 days, so I would anticipate the deer to be heavily using that area. We're gonna get in there. I'm probably gonna run some stuff in there, take a look at things, see if I can find a place to set the blind that I like on the bike before Ty and I come in. And I'm excited. We'll be back out with Mike in the morning and be hunting spotty throughout the rest of November. We will let you know what happens when we get to the blind or tree stand or the ground, wherever we decide to set up tonight. Setup should be big time. Well, I said we were a little undecided in the truck. On the way in, we passed that hackberry, and I'm kind of glad I chose not to go to the stand because it would have been tough to film and shoot out of that tree. I mean, there are no leaves in it, and with it being in a hedgerow, you're skylighted on all sides. Out for my first sit ever for myself in November, so I hunt a lot with Mike, and I love every second of it. We had a great hunt the other day, but I really just want to hunt some for myself. Well, we've got a couple deer over here that I'm pretty excited about, and the one back in the summer I talked about this deer, Tight 10, and I said then, I mean, he just kind of, this is his home, right? He's really in here a lot, and we actually got, on November 1st, got daylight pictures of him on the west side, and we've had a ton of pictures of him in the draw, a couple daylight, a couple nighttime, as well as 2 other deer. One that we're familiar with, he was 8x7 last year, and it was a deer Kaleb and I were excited to see back this year, and he lost some points, gained a lot of mass. I mean, a stud. I would be tickled with that deer. He daylighted on November 1st as well, and that was behind our walnut set that we hung. We've got the decoy set up, slightly quartering to us. Hot food source, November 6th, great time of year. Deer should really start to be moving around, getting on their feet, looking for does. Got a good feeling. It's warm, but pretty positive vibes out here. Here comes a buck. It's wider young deer.
Well, there he goes.
Though neither of the bucks he's after make an appearance, Rye's anticipation to return to the newly placed ground blind is high. The following morning, arguably the single best day of the entire season, arrives. On the morning of November 7th, Rye exchanges the bow for the camera as Mike Reed makes another hunt for the giant buck known as Rocky.
I got a find right there.
the morning of November 7th. It's a beautiful morning. It's about 35 degrees. We have a north wind switching to the east. And it's nice and quiet this morning. It's a very light wind. We are on the little 28 acre piece after Rocky. Good news, I got a picture of him. So he's still alive. He's not an EHD victim. He's one of those deer that I don't get tons of photos of him, but you know, with all the EHD going on, I was worried that maybe he died. Didn't want to spend a lot of time hunting him if he was, you know, dead. So it's nice to get a photo of him, know he's still alive. And we actually encountered him 2 years ago out of this very tree, later into November. We'll see. I think this spot sets up really, really well. There's a lot going on right here. There's multiple draws that come together. The inside corner of the field, sort of a bluff over the creek on this side, drives them through this corner. It's a real heavy trail. There's a lot going on topographically and make deer come this way. This is where we had that ground encounter with the 2 young bucks last time we were here, moving this camera. So just a lot of cruising generally takes place right here, and we're set up well for them to cruise with this north blowing us back over the bluff. We're gonna sit in here as long as we can. Hopefully Rocky shows up. Well, it's a little after 11 o'clock. Most of the activity was that first hour and a half or so. We've got a few things to take care of midday here, and but we're gonna come back to this spot. So we're just gonna jump down for like an hour, hour and a half, and then we'll be back here. I'd like to put a little bit of time in after Rocky, so we'll see you guys this afternoon.
As Mike gets down to knock out some midday work, 120 miles to the west, myself and Drake Lamb are back on the same public land that I scouted a few days prior.
All right, well, 120 here, November 7th, and man, it's not exactly what you'd think you'd be doing on the best day of the season, but Gavin and I came in here a couple of days ago and did some scouting. We found some incredible sign up in here. And so Drake, first time we've ever been out in the woods together in deer season hunting, we came in and brought the stands about 1.25 miles in to drop them so that tomorrow our walk's a little bit easier, a little less sweaty. And we're 2 bends away from the tree stand that I want to hunt tomorrow. On the walk in though, we haven't shown you yet, we came across on the other side, on our side, but when we were walking the other ridge, big deer dead. Not sure how big, not sure if a hunter shot him, but we're gonna use Onyx tracker here to create a new path out. And then that'll be the exact way we walk in, pick these up in the morning, get in the stand. Somebody's deer.
Dude, that's a hammer.
Livery. Man, big deer. I need to get a hold of whoever this is. Well, this is definitely a hunter's deer. Got an arrow coming through, liver hit. And I mean, we didn't see any, there's some blood right there, but hardly anything at all. Well, what's up, guys? November 7th here, and I'm on a piece of public land here with Drake, and just came across a buck, and I wanted to do a PSA here. If you are looking for a deer, if you know somebody who hit a deer and is looking for it, I found your deer. It's a beautiful buck, big deer. Just tell me what piece of ground you were hunting, what arrow you were shooting, and the general description of the buck. I've got a pin on him, and would love to help you recover. So, like I said, share this with somebody you know if you're in South Central Iowa, and let's get this deer to the right hunter. And sweet November. I mean, that deer is exactly why we were in here. So, like I said, appreciate it if you guys share this. Appreciate it if you know somebody, and let's get this in the right hands. All right, well, 150 here, and Drake and I's mission has been, anytime we get together, it seems like something crazy happens, but we came back to this deer that we saw, and I just went on Instagram and talked about it, but definitely a hunter shot. Quarter two, hit him in, looks like the liver going into the guts, and you know, we found him right along the creek here. So put a PSA out for the hunters of Iowa to hopefully reach out to me, and we can get this deer into the right hands, because there was not much of a blood trail. Who knows how far away this deer was shot, but beautiful animal, and hopefully the story has a happy ending. Not bad.
Now if I could do that in the morning, getting in.
Yeah. We just found him. Looks like a liver hit out the guts. Quarter two shot.
I don't know. Yeah, it was quarter and two.
Yep. Gotta be him. It's pretty dang close. It's gotta be the same deer.
Yeah, how's it going?
How are you?
Good.
I got some good news for you.
Yeah?
I found your deer. No?
You're kidding? Or
I
you're
swear to
not?
God.
Yep, that's him.
Wanna go get him?
Yeah, I do. I got a deer cart with me.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm gonna need that, dude.
Drake.
Drake, nice to meet you.
That's me.
I even got good news in the sense where all we have to do is get him across the creek and he's on the path.
Oh my gosh.
All right, well, it's only an hour later, 2:50 here, and we just got back to where the truck was parked. Saw that earlier there was only one truck, now there was three, and so we figured why not jump up and see. And gentleman here was actually watching the reel we just posted. This is the Lucky Hunter. I don't know if you want to introduce yourself, but
Hey, I'm John.
John let us kind of know. We showed him a picture of the buck, it's his, and I think it's one of the coolest things I've ever been a part of. So it's, I guess we'll just walk right to him.
Yeah.
We're gonna help you get him out. So I think this is what the coolest part about hunting is. You just never know what's gonna happen when you hit the woods, and I'm very excited. You said he's your biggest ever?
Yeah, he's gonna be my biggest by quite a bit actually. So I'm pumped up to go find him.
Yeah, I was like right here. I was like, whoa, what's going on?
I can't believe that. Yeah.
It's so cool.
A lot of work. Oh, I didn't even know he had this.
So cool.
Dude, he's got so much character.
Yeah, when we saw him across the creek, I was like, Drake, that's a big deer.
You know, I first found this place back in July, if you want to go all the way back to the beginning, but back on October 30th was when I got him in daylight.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen him for a month.
That was that great cold front.
Yeah.
Dude, everybody who had a cell cam out got a big deer that day.
Yup.
I'll tell you, when we came in to bring these stands, Drake, this is not exactly what I mean, it's just so cool. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you were looking at the video we had posted.
Yep.
You were like, hey, I do know the guy.
Yeah, I was
Like,
actually
that's awesome.
sitting in my truck waiting for John. I'm always watching Midwest Whitetail, and I was watching Josh's blog. Hey, we found somebody's deer, and a white truck pulls up. I'm like, oh, that's Josh. I'm like, hey.
Yeah, I can't believe that. Thank you guys very
No,
much. This is awesome.
I think you would have found him.
That was awesome.
Congrats on your biggest deer ever, dude.
Thank you. He's biggest by quite a bit, so
Character.
been a lot of years.
In November, there's never a dull moment, and this experience with new friend John is one I will never forget.
Keep going. I know.
Back in eastern Iowa, Mike's afternoon hunt for Rocky is taking a turn.
They're pushing back and forth. They're on the hill right there. We're down to our last 10 minutes, and that fight certainly made the day for us. I'm definitely gonna put some time in on this property. And Rocky's such a cool buck, and knowing he's alive, will definitely make some sits for him. It's a tough time of year. You know, you gotta have a doe drag him by, basically. I think it'll probably be easier to kill post-rut if I can get him to come to these 2 acres of standing beans, but I gotta work in the morning, but I should be out tomorrow afternoon. And either way, we'll see you guys next time around.
The following morning, Drake Lamb and I make good on our plan and arrive to the public land well before sunrise.
Good morning from southern Iowa. It is November 8th. We had that awesome event yesterday on November 7th with John and recovering his buck. Well, we're on the same piece, and we made our way to the stands. Thank goodness for the Onyx path track, and it seems like a very simple overlook feature, but frankly, there's no way that we would have been able to navigate back here, especially to those stands. The reason why we're here is, long story short, buck's cruising, trying to find those available does. We felt like this was a great spot simply because we got thick bedding cover to our north. This is just a small transition line of more resemblance of hardwoods. And I just figured, you know, we've had a lot of south winds. We got a north wind switch today, and I'm hoping that that is enough change to get these bucks on the move. Got Drake Lamb in the tree, sweet November. We'll see if we can get it done. Very, very excited to be in a tree. Really awesome hunt here so far. It's I think our buck total's up to 6. A lot of small bucks up until this last year. He did exactly what we thought, came out of this bedding And he's going down the river, just scent checking all the way along. I just happened to check my cameras. And who would you know? I freaking golly, man. It's like you know, and you know you shouldn't wait for a daylight photo. Well, he did it. So, 11:47 out alone. And this is exactly where we would have went hanging on it. The northwest wind is perfect. Man, what are the chances of that?
Committed to sitting all day, Drake and I continue to scan the bottom in front of us. While we wait, 67 miles to the southeast, Kaleb Greiner is making a move to a new stand.
November 8th, Shane and I made it to the stand. Had winds this morning that were changing from southeast, which is what it's been through these warmer days the past few days. And over a 4-hour period, it switched to the northwest, so it was changing all that time. And since it's just going to be swirling during that change, we elected not to sit. So we just snuck up in here, didn't spook any deer on the way in. Got set up, and right away we've got does under the stand. Had a really nice buck that we had on the cutty back show up last night. Walked right by the tree. It's drizzling. This is probably my favorite weather right now for the rut. I wish it was colder, but can't complain. It's not too hot, not too cold. It's just right. What's that story, the Three Bears? What this is it looks like a funnel in between two big properties. And it's a good sized timber. It's about 25 acres in size. A creek runs through it. And what these deer are probably going to be doing is cruising this creek. We've got doe bedding right in front of us. I say doe bedding because every time we've came in here, there's literally a dozen does bedded right there in front of us. So I think transitions right now, like we're in, next to doe bedding, is a hot spot. It's pretty much the same two hot spots that I had for Hog Jr. last year, that sanctuary timber spot and the pinch. So no idea what we're gonna see, but it just sucks because we put so much work into Lucky, OG, Vendetta, and they're all missing or gone or dead. So I think from here on out we're gonna be sitting every single day. Hopefully we get an arrow in one here soon. back here. No worries. This is crazy. Well, that's the action we were looking for. I think I was grinning that entire time, but I mean, you guys saw it all unfold. I don't have to tell you how it happened. That was pretty gnarly when he snort wheeze at 10 yards right under the tree. It was so freaking cool. I mean, that's one of the top things I've ever seen in the deer woods. This sweet November, man. Gosh, I'm just a little speechless right now. It's grinning ear to ear. We're gonna get after, we've been getting a few photos of this bigger buck. We're gonna get after him, try and get a little tight on him, but we wanted to sit this just to see what, how the deer move through here. I think we got a good idea, learn a bunch. So we're gonna get out, make a game plan for tomorrow, and get ready to roll.
The hot doe in front of Kaleb's stand produced a hunt he will never forget, and though Drake and I never experienced the same action, we did enjoy consistent deer activity all day. With proof that the drop tine buck is alive, I now have to make a choice. The following morning, Rye Ludwig is back on scene, hoping to lay eyes on one of his top bucks.
Well, good morning. Ty and I are in the stand. This is my first morning sit ever in Iowa for myself, so it's kind of surreal. And to be able to look at it with the sunrise like we have out of the stand. I said back in the summer when Ty and I came in here and hung this, I was like, I can't wait to watch a sunrise out of this. And here we are. Great, cool, low wind thermal morning. And we're set up right in the neck of this draw. It's about 60 yards. The farthest part across where this draw pitches down. The hope is, as these deer come back from the ag to the north, through this draw and off to the primary bedding to the south, we're gonna put ourselves in a good situation to have a bow range shot. And the other thing, on a west wind, this draw sets up really good for the deer to cruise the close side of the creek and go up through here. So realistically, I think the deer are most likely going to cruise on that side and won't be downwind of us. Couldn't be more thankful to be out. We are going to see if we can make some stuff happen, maybe give it another 5 minutes and do a little rattling, maybe a little calling. I see 2 deer in the CRP.
bucks on their feet all around Rye, it's only a matter of time until it's the right one. That same morning, 187 miles to the south in northern Missouri, Tyler Bellman is also on stand.
Well, guys, it's the morning of November the 9th, and I don't know if I can remember this few of sits this time of year. We haven't been out a whole lot. We've had good sits when we did go, but just seems like everything's a little bit delayed this year. I'm trying to keep my spirits high, as I hope that any day now things are going to break loose and we could maybe have a change of events here. But we do have several good deer on this farm that are using this particular area here. We're on the southwest corner. That Velveeta deer, he's been in and out of here, moving down to the bottoms and into the north sanctuary, as well as that big frame swoosh deer. We got a couple other mature deer that are in here as well that we're hoping to catch up with, but we're gonna settle in here tight, probably rattle here in just a bit, see if we can't stir something up, but it's a beautiful morning. He's right here. Here. I see her. Oh, okay, I see. It's swoosh. Yeah. He's not gonna leave her. I don't think he'll leave her. It was probably 30 seconds after I did my opening interview. I looked over my shoulder here and there was a doe coming through what we call the old hog lot, and it all broke loose after that, just like we discussed. Heard a bunch of grunting, a buck roar, and she was coming right down the pipe here to us, and Swoosh cut her off and he corralled her back in that thick stuff. And the last that we could see him, they were heading to the north. He's not been on the cuttybacks for several days now, and I would say that he has probably been tending to her pretty hard. Our only hope is that throughout the rest of the morning he'll break off of her. It's November, sweet November's here, and that's what we live for, that type of activity right there. Gonna leave everything in the tree. We know we're coming back here. We know that Swoosh has probably been on her for a couple days now, I would assume. She might come back through, grab a bite to eat, and get back to her bed, and pull him right through here. But we know we gotta be in this area. This is where he's at. We're gonna put our eggs in one basket and hopefully catch up with him this evening.
I think Ty and I are going to jump down. We both have a little bit of work to get done midday today. The setup is great. I'm more than pleased with how it turned out. So I think what we're going to do is hunt the west side tonight and probably use the decoy again.
Happened. That was pretty gnarly. When he snort wheeze. This sweet November, man. Gosh, I'm just a little speechless right now. I was grinning. ear to ear.
Playing the hands they've been dealt, both Tyler and Rye look ahead to plan their best moves. With the buck that he's hunting clearly locked down, Tyler's scenario illustrates exactly what to expect as we venture deeper into the month. Day by day, more does enter an estrus period that could catapult a lucky hunter's action into being the best ever or a ghost town. Somewhere nearby, a rut craze showdown is unfolding, and it's up to us to find it. Though luck always plays a role, fortunately, this isn't our first trip around the woods, and strategies exist to take advantage of during this time frame. Rolling the dice, we will take an opportunity however we can get it, and right now, there's no better time to be a bow hunter. Tick by tick, the minutes pass by as we continue chasing November.